midnight, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Super Duper Heshy, Just Enough Heshy show. I got you this week.
I was waiting for. I gave you the opportunity. In wrestling, we gave you the hold. We gave you the time.
Thank you for letting me introduce my own show.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'll make sure next week to interrupt you.
Well, you do anyways all the time.
Pretty much.
Welcome our YouTube fans, and we're going to have people call into the show at 646-974-1580. I think we fixed the phone problem.
Yeah, I think that was the reason why we're delayed a bit. We couldn't figure it out.
But I don't really think we're going to have the phone working so well. But we'll see what happens. It was a great week. You're talking a war starts,
yes.
A war ends right away. We have a mayoral election that is like whacked out of the you're crazy.
Yeah.
I win the election. Avon wins the election. We're going to be taking over the poll workers, so we're not going to have any more fraudulent and fake voting in our community.
Absolutely.
Then we have a bunch of idiot Democrats that brought Cuomo into my neighborhood, into my park.
Right up the block from our office on 18th Avenue.
First of all, Mamadani's going to be pissed, and if Adams wins, he's going to be pissed. I mean, it's like never-ending story over here.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Well, our fans, I just want you to know something, and I am going to make changes. By the way, this is the first time we've ever gotten so close that I'm the actual Republican nominee.
And it's the first time in your career you've got 2 ballot lines going into
Two ballot lines running. And again, I have one question for you. Just one.
You asked me 100, but
I will. Don't worry about it. But my main question is where is Simcha Felder?
Is he on a witness protection?
We just had our guest show up to the show.
Well, we have Helen Q running in District 1. Yep, in Manhattan.
But she has to put on lipstick. And I like lipstick on a lady.
Well, she's going to focus on getting in her headphones, and we'll talk to her.
Did you get her a bottle of cold water?
I put it right there on the table for her.
Okay, good. Well, anyways, one of our cameras broke, so we're squeezing together over here. And we're going to have a great show. We're going to torture Helen. She's running as Republican for the city council first.
She's running in the first council district, which consists of Chinatown in Manhattan, the financial district, Nolita, Lower Manhattan, basically.
Financial, I want to talk to her about because Zohan is really going to go after her. She's the one that's going to
and she ran before 2 years ago. She ran for the same seat.
Okay, we're going to talk. She's a Republican or Democrat?
She's a Republican.
I have a question for you before we actually hit the live radio because, Helen won't come on the show till we hit the live radio.
Yes.
Even though nobody's going to see your lipstick on the live radio.
Well, our YouTube audience will certainly see that. So we want to make sure we let
Welcome to our show, Helen. Wow. You got to talk into the mic. If you don't talk into the mic, I can't hear you.
It's like running the 2-minute drill in football for Helen.
Thank you so much, Heshy.
I can't hear her. I don't know why.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. I have a question for you. You are a mother of how many children?
1.
A boy or girl?
And she's a pastor.
I'm joking with you. I see him. He's a boy.
Very, very handsome boy.
Handsome.
Yes.
We see him right here.
We're not going to marry him off yet. Not till after
Not yet.
Not till after college.
I don't think we want to do that right now.
Anyways, we're going to be we're right now on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So we're going to introduce you again.
Thank you.
We're going live on the our live viewers in about 7 seconds, which my friend over here is going to start introducing us now.
We're going to say hello to everybody out there. WSNR 620, our flagship 620 AM, WJPR 1640 AM in beautiful Miami, Florida, Heshy's home away from home, and the legendary WNEW 1027 FM, the old rock and roll station. Thank you for joining us this week on a rather, I am sure, action-packed, just enough Heshy show.
We got it. And you can call into the show. To what number can they call in? I don't know if they could anymore.
64974 1580.
You can ask me any question you want. 646-974-1580. And I'm hoping they put it up on the screen. And I want you to know something. My website is not dead. HeshyTishler.com. I want you to remember Heshy Tishler. We now won our nomination. We're going into November 4th. I'm going to want at least 100 volunteers to show up.
Yep.
Come on, guys. Sign up. Come on. Go to the website. Go to, what's my email?
JustEnoughHeshy@gmail.com.
Don't you have to spell it out for them?
J, like bingo, BINGO,
Okay, we got it. You're a comedian.
You know, that's what I figured with the wrestling business not working out so well. My political career will maybe just be a side note. Maybe I'll go and become a stand-up comedian. Maybe.
Yeah, well, being a politician, we are comedians. Helen
Well,
will tell
we
you
certainly
that.
are.
We must be dumbbells because we
Hey, but you know what? You've been more successful than Dimitri Kugel these days. Your old friend Dimitri Kugel. Going to be on the unemployment line.
And our Republican chairman, Richie Barsimi.
Dick ran Barsimi. Dick ran.
Lost his election, cried like a...
The Republican chairman of Brooklyn.
And I'm gonna ask,
and by the way, before we do that, we got to say hello to Green Line Building Compliance, licensed DOB expediters, general contractors, and Green Line Building Consultants. 718-871-0382, 202 Foster Avenue, right off McDonald Avenue, and info@greenlinecompliance.com. Scan the barcode, you'll get your general contractors and Green Line Building Consultants, licensed DOB expediters.
718-871-0382, and that's what I do, Helen. I'm an expediter architectural
And also our
firm.
good friend, Mr. Anthony J. Finkel, who will be probably calling in to tell us that he's going to show up earlier next time for the dinner at Essence. He's got DPH Property Maintenance Service, DPH.NYC 347-228-2625. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. 10 plus years of excellence. And Anthony Finkel just played a gig with his band, with Fester there. They just played, and they played in downtown Brooklyn on Sackett Street, Lucky 13 Saloon. So Anthony Finkel moonlighting not only as a businessman but also a rock musician.
Right.
Maybe he'll play for us when you get elected to city council alongside Helen. Maybe his band will play your theme song.
So I'm going to Helen. I do usually a quote and a joke, which we're going to start with. But I first want to introduce you, Helen Q. You are running for city council in the District 1. You are you went to Columbia University. You know, me and Tom hate Columbia. You know why? You can't just shake your head. You got to talk to
Oh,
her.
yes.
You're going to be councilwoman. You got to never shut up in that council. We're going to fight those Democrats.
I don't think she's going to be like us throughout the next hour.
She has to be
She'll
like
try.
us. She talks more than us. Don't worry about it.
We'll say.
Well, I want to first say, Hershey, I feel very honored to be here. And
Wow.
I'm very impressed by the setup you have here, Abraham and Tom. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
I don't
I'm
like
just
Abraham. I don't like
in
Abraham.
awe.
We don't like Abraham.
He's actually an elected official right now.
By the way, Abraham won
It
district
will be
leader.
good. It will be a good balance because you don't like him, but I like him. So his heart is balanced.
He
I
can
see.
cut us
That's
off.
why. That's why you put on that lipstick. Abraham. By the way, Abraham won district leader yesterday.
Oh, congratulations,
He's district
Abraham.
He's an
leader,
elected
yes.
official
He's the
now.
official elected official.
Wonderful.
May I ask you? I am. We have an Asian community, and I've had
Yes.
a lot of Asian friends. What is? I mean, and I know that if I say something wrong, I get in trouble. What is your background? From which country is your family from?
Well, I came from mainland China.
Ah, so you are China.
And you know Cantonese food?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I came from Canton, which is
Very nice.
modern translation is Guangzhou. So I grew up there. I graduated from the best university there, which is also the top rank, like
Awesome.
one of the Ivy in China, Ivy, Zhongshan University. So I graduated there and came to America as a graduate student.
Oh, wow.
At
Very
first,
I want to ask you a question, Helen.
Yes.
Are you nuts? Why are you running for city council? What is? Do you know we're going to torture you?
Yes.
We're going to make fun of you. We're
Yes.
going to insult you. We're going to come after your family.
Yeah.
We're going to make you suffer so bad.
I know. And because you also ran,
Yeah.
so I know you were very familiar with the medieval torture, And I'm very glad to be on the same boat with you.
I love it. You know, I went to the dentist about 3 months ago. We had a protest.
Okay.
We had a protest here in
Yes.
Borough Park.
Yes, you just discovered there's some pain that's worse than the tooth pain.
You are so pretty. You know, you're so pretty. No, but I went to. We had to protest. They sucker punched me and they hit me.
No.
And I fought back.
Yeah.
Really?
He ran away.
In the
We
area.
caught
For
him.
real?
And my tooth broke, and I tried to save it.
I
And yesterday,
cannot believe.
I suffered for a few months, and yesterday the doctor said, "Listen, Heshy, you're going to rip it out." I'm so embarrassed because I don't like ripping out teeth. I'm never going to grow it back. And like an old man, they're saying, "Oh, you need an implant." I'm never going to get an implant. That's an old man thing.
Well, you're now an old man.
So I want you to know something, Helen.
Yes.
I do a lot of community service for many years. And so does Tommy's a good man.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
Very
people,
nice to
you know,
meet you. Good man,
Honor to
Paul.
meet you.
and people
Honor to
tell
meet
me every day, "Oh, you work so hard. You should go retirement. You should go vacation." Let me tell you something. I had a friend in school.
Yes.
My father passed away as young, and I went to boarding school, and I fought for the other kids in school. You know, kids that were troubled. You know how the dean, and like in any school, there's always somebody they pick on. So I picked on. I helped with the kids that were in trouble, the kids that didn't have money. I helped collect it, and we were in boarding school. Not all of us were rich in the 70s.
Yes.
And we had to do studies in the Jewish schools, and we had a rabbi that tortured us and whatever. So we wanted to play baseball, but we had no baseball field. So I went to one of the dirt lots. We had a big empty farm. There was like in the middle of nowhere in Jersey, and I started to make a baseball field with a couple of the guys, and we had a basketball court with a lot of holes in it, broken with the blacktop. So I started to collect money to fix the basketball court and make the baseball field. The rabbis stopped me. They said, "We don't do that here." And I had a big argument with them. We're going to do it. We're going to argue back and forth. No, sports, we have to learn all the time. This is a burning school. Anyways, one day a kid comes into school, a really troubled kid from a very rich family. His name is Jacob. Not going to say
Bard.
his last name. Not Jacob Bard. A very rich family. And the rabbi calls me into his office. The head rabbi, the dean. He says, "Listen, Heshy, we have this kid. We can't control him. We can't get him thrown out of school.
They want you to.
They want me to control him and take him on because I help these kids." I said, "What do you want from me, Rabbi? I'm not one of your workers. You boss around the kids. We know who you are."
You make good connections with people.
So I said to the rabbi, "What are you going to give me back?" He says, "Well, let you have the baseball field and the basketball court."
Wow.
And he gave me my first $15 to buy. We had to support it, do it ourselves.
Yes.
And so one day the kid comes with me at night, and we're talking about I don't know when his birthday is. I'm not going to ask you your birthday. So we're sitting together, and he was a class lower
You
than
can ask me my birthday,
I
so
love
you
you.
can give me my birthday gift.
She's
I have
us in
no
campaign
problem.
contributions.
I
Yes,
got
yes.
you. So the kid,
Or in the form of campaign contributions.
well, we're gonna have to do that for you. So the kid's sitting there, and he tells me that his birthday is January 29th, 1964.
Okay.
And I said, "Impossible. My birthday is January 29th, 1964.
No way.
I swear we sat there.
It just
And
happened to be on the same day.
Same day. And we were
Yes.
joking around. We figured out he was born in the morning. I was born in the evening.
Oh, so you're still the younger brother.
So we were sitting there talking, and through the next 2 years, we became friendly, and he came under my wing, and we became really good. When we left high school, I went on to college. He tried, and he went to work for his father's company, and he got married, he got divorced, and then some of the richer boys, they do things that they shouldn't be doing. Anyways, I lost touch with him for the last 20 years. I got a call 2 weeks ago.
Oh, he called.
Heshy, please come visit me. I hear you go visit people in the hospital, in the nursing homes. I'm in the nursing home. Please come see me. Now, this is a guy the exact same age as me, broken and falling apart. And I've lost friends, but this was somebody that's my exact age.
Played
Same
baseball
thing as
with,
me, 61 years old. And what happened is that I want to tell you, every day above ground, every day I'm healthy.
Yes.
I have perfect health. And God has rewarded me through all my trials and tribulations that I am here today, perfect when I know other people can't be as perfect as me.
Yes.
So Helen, besides
Thank
your
God for
Columbia
that.
University, you also are, and I'm going to start our show in a minute, but I just want to say something about you, and so does he. I love your subway and street safety program.
Yes.
I love your for the build affordable housing.
Yes.
I don't like your rent stabilized ideas.
I don't think I have anything to say about that.
Okay, I want you to talk about that because I do believe if somebody has a rent stabilized apartment, no problem. But you do have to pay rent increases. There's no way to freeze an $800 or $1,200 a month rent. Landlords need to make money. But we're going to get back to that. We're going to start our show, and I want to give you my quote. And this quote is for Helen that I made up directly.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's a Benjamin Franklin quote that I did research. Liberty we should not sacrifice for safety, not freedom. Freedom is what allows what people like Mandani and Cuomo and Soros to do whatever they want. Liberty is what protects the rest of us from people like them. We can't mix up freedom and liberty. We give you the freedom, but you abuse it. We have our liberty, and you, from all people, my darling, I'm sorry, Miss Helen, I apologize. I mean that you know what it is to have freedom and liberty, and you know what because you came from a tough place. I don't know how China was to you, but with the stories that I hear, I'm proud of you for coming to this country, for making yourself, and I can't wait for you to win the city council.
And she's going to join you in the city council. And you need friends in the city council, and she'll join you.
Yeah. I'm going to tell a quick joke. I want you to hear this. I usually make fun of Linda every week, but this one I'm not going to make fun of Linda. I was talking to some young guys. You might not like the joke, by the way, but they never laugh. I was talking to some young guys. You know, I do a lot of speaking events, and I was talking to some young guys, and they're all starting out dating, and they're telling me about girls, and the girls make nasty remarks. They say, Heshy, what do you do about that? So I told them a story that when I was single, I was a college freshman, and I finally got up the nerve to introduce myself and speak to a girl who was a junior, 2 years older than me. And I went over to her and I said to her, would you go out with me? And she looked me up and down and she says, I don't go out with a child. So I said, oh, sorry, I didn't know that you were pregnant.
That was a good one.
Okay, I hope for my laughing audience, I made believe that that she's pregnant. When she said child, the child was with her. Anyways, that was my joke, and we're going to go on our way. First question to you, and Tom.
I actually have a couple questions for her, so you go first.
But I'm going to talk to her about her local politics. I'm going to give her time. You do know I'm a Jewish man.
Yes.
And I respect Israel, and I'm not asking you if you condone Israel or not, but we just had a bombing with Iran. Mm-hmm. And in 3 days, Mr. President Trump stopped the war. A war that was going back and forth.
I heard they want to give him the Nobel Peace Prize now.
And he just went, just like Harry Truman, put the bombs, and then some people say that the nuclear facilities are not blown up. All I know is I heard today from the CIA intelligence that those nuclear facilities are gone. What is your, and I know you don't deal with foreign policy, even though they will be coming here, foreign officials, to talk to us and meet with us, and we're going to want business from them. What's your opinion on Israel? What's your opinion on this war that happened? Just a quick, you don't have to really bring it up if you're not interested in talk about it. And again, a lot of people are for Israel. Nadler is not. Schumer, who's a Jew, is not. AOC, that stupid idiot, she called President Trump.
Wants to impeach him.
Which not only impeach him, she said, I eat boys for breakfast.
Well, she's obviously an interesting character, has she?
Yeah.
In my district, we have Grand Street.
Yes.
And along Grand Streets, we have a lot of Jewish families.
Lower East Side.
And in the first time I ran for New York State Assembly
in
2022, I received about 17% of support from them, in average, of course. And that was the year that Lee Zeldin was running for governor.
Wow.
And Lee Zeldin also got about 17%, or about the same amount that I got. So that was a very difficult crowd to gain votes from them. They need to build trust. Now, time passed, 1 year later, 2023. Very unfortunate, October 7th happened. And when that happened, a lot of people don't want to say anything, especially my opponent, Christopher Mate, saying nothing. And I felt the need to make a statement. So I make a very beautiful poster with my picture and a blue background and white character. I stand with Israel.
I love you.
And then I make that poster seen everywhere. I know at that climate, it could be dangerous. You know how you get punched.
Yeah.
And at that time, it's so funny that the climate is turning towards the people that commit the atrocity rather than the people that was the victim of that.
Yeah.
New York City is a sanctuary city, and your friend Mr. Mandani might be mayor. You know that this socialist wacko, when he becomes mayor, he's going to open up.
He's not just a socialist wacko. He is an Islamic jihadist.
He called for the global intifada. I mean,
And I
We
posted
must
a video.
know
of it.
that.
If you would have seen my video today, he, as a candidate, gets up and starts screaming. Did you see my video? Free
I did.
Palestine,
I
free
shared it.
Palestine.
Yeah.
This is a man that
Yeah.
is just. And then he says, "I have no problem with the Jews."
And so at that time, I felt I need to do that. I need to show the leadership as people's next city council, and I make that statement no, and I think my Jewish community, my Jewish families appreciate that about me, and that my votes percentage in 2023 increased to 38%.
Wow.
and she won 6
And-
election districts in your race. You won
Yes,
6
I
in your-
also won 6 districts.
So you
but
are
I
now,
haven't
hold on a
won that
moment,
yet.
But you are the only Republican candidate now you just won, and you're in November 4th, and you're running up against who?
Christopher
The
Marte,
same person,
who won
Christopher
yesterday,
Marte.
Democratic primary.
Yes, and he during the early voting, I saw Christopher Marte in 2023. I went up to him. I say, "What do you think about October 7th?" He has nothing to say, and I have that video. I probably will send it to you. And it is a shame that as a city council of such an important district with a majority of Jews living on Grand Street.
And the World Trade Centers in your district.
And the
by
World
way.
Trade Center. He would not have the courage and the vision and the leadership to even say what's right and what's wrong, and to even say he condemned the October 7th atrocity and he stand with Israel. And I think on top of that, we need to say we should prohibit, which I will, if I'm the city council, do not even try to apply for a license to protest in my district,
I love
in Fanada,
I love it.
from river to the sea.
And what happens if we do?
And we also
what
have a
happens if
photo
we-
You
here.
would not get a. You would not get a.
The Helen Q campaign team is giving
Yeah.
us a photo.
Yeah. So I
show
would
it up for
not.
our audience
I
here
would
so they
not
see it.
even
You're not gonna be able to
allow.
see that,
Well,
can
I mean,
Yeah.
somebody designed, and
Yeah.
for you want to take a look and
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
it.
Oh wow! I wanted you to send me that up.
Yeah, I
we'll
will do
send
that.
that to you.
I'll
Thank
do
you.
that. But that's what I want to say is we have become so weak and so morally corrupt.
But we've rationalized, racism. We talk about, anti-Semitism on the rise, hate crimes on the rise, and it's not just in the Jewish community. You obviously have Chinatown in your district.
Yeah.
We see that you've had a lot of problems in your area, in your district, especially with a lot of this stuff.
I want to talk about these issues not in the conceptual terms, like, we want to stop anti-Semitism. Everybody will say, I want to stop anti-Semitism. Nobody will say, I applaud anti-Semitism. But when it comes to real actions, such as how do you make the Jewish families feel comfortable living in your district?
Right.
Nobody has an answer. Nobody have the guts to say, you know what? One thing to make them feel not life-threatening is probably not shouting from river to the sea and infantada global infantada to their face.
And I want to point out,
Maybe that will be something very
and if you're
tangible.
here right
Wait a
now,
minute,
you want to
wait a
point
second.
out, if you want to give Helen a call or a feedback, 646-974-1580.
I hope those phones work.
Helen's running here in the first council district. Just want to point
Yes,
that out.
thank
And
you.
Helen, how do we donate to your campaign?
Oh, thank you so much. You can donate directly to my New York City
Votes.
official website.
And she's on Instagram also?
And I am on X at Helen numerical 4 NY. Helen 4NY, and the donation link is right there.
Helen, Helen 4, the number 4 NY.
Yes.
Okay.
In
Yeah,
the
and
X.
Helen for New York also is on Instagram as well.
Yes, and
Instagram.
yes.
Helen,
And HelenQ.com, by the way. I have that in
Helen-
there.
HelenQ.com will be live within a week.
Helen, let's talk about the police.
Yes.
What's his name again? Zohan Baba. What's Baba?
We could say a
Zohar
lot of things about
Jihadis.
it.
That's his last name.
We make fun of everybody.
It's not a fun. It's
not.
for real. Yeah.
He wants to defund the police
By $1 billion.
And, you know,
By $1 billion.
I thought we had 45,000 cops. I
No.
heard now we only have 31,000.
See, we had our peak with Giuliani, the last year of Giuliani was 45,000 cops. We've been under 35,000 cops since before COVID.
So I have a question for both of you.
Yes.
You have 31,000 cops. We have a 24-hour shift. So just if anybody works normal on 8-hour shift, we can't keep working them overtime all the time. So basically, we only have about, 9,000 cops working any shift.
Well, less than
and,
the number
and,
they
and
say.
10% of those are working in the offices. How does 8,000 cops protect 8
8
million
million
people? And you know that half of them are not doing anything or
Well, he
scared.
wants them to be a part of mental health treatment. That's what he wants. He wants to he's been open about that.
She has a plan on that. I mean,
let's
you know,
talk about
I'm very much into the mental health.
Yes,
and the home. I want to ask you something. Homeless. We need to solve that. It's just
Right.
crazy.
Right.
We can't let them on the streets. And we do have solutions. You can't be opening up homeless shelters in the middle of your district. You have to
Right.
find and they want to open up.
Chinatown, you've had a big issue with that, I know, in your area. You want to talk about that?
So that's great topics. I think let's do the number one first, which is what do we do with the Defund the Police movement? It's a movement. Basically, the idea is to corrupt the society so badly so that the entire society is in chaos with no one to come to your aid, and then people will leave the city. And when New York is corrupted, when New York is destroyed, then they will have people to come over here to take it over. And we just saw that yesterday, that the jihadists wants to take over New York. They already take over, by the way, London. And
Yes.
among the 11 big cities in the UK, 9 of them are being ruled by Islamic
and also
jihadist
look
mayor.
at what's happened in Chicago. Look at what's happened in Boston. Look at what happened in San Francisco. But let me ask you a question. You both are talking about this. Let's say that this guy gets elected and you're in the city council. Helen Q, you did great last time. You get enough votes to win this race. How are you then going to confront him? How are you going to be able to change that narrative? Because if he's the mayor, he sets the policies. You have a vote in that budget next year, but how are you going to be able to accomplish those things and to push back against him?
Yes, you asked a future question, which I will answer with my past record.
Let's go for it.
So my past record is I thank God for the opportunity that for some reason, and God opened the door to let me have a way to make people change, to make them make decisions that may not 100% along with what they want to do. So I give you one example. Grand Houses is in Upper West Side, Columbia University. Right next to it is Grand Houses. So Grand Houses has a large community garden in between the buildings. And the city at that time, de Blasio, wants to make it a parking lot. So they already sent people to measure the parking lot in Grand Houses, the housing project. They want to level it up and make a parking lot to make money. But the community garden is so beautiful. I heard about it. I was very upset. I was heartbroken that they are going to do that. And they just need a vote at the community board meeting, which they will get it. So I made a 3-minute video with the leader of the community garden. And I sent in the video because I couldn't attend the community board meeting that day. I sent in a video with a friend of mine. And before the video, everybody in the community board, parking lot. Right after the 3-minute video, everybody silent. They dare not to say they want the parking lot anymore after seeing how beautiful and how beneficial that garden was on a 3-minute video.
Are you going to want to increase the budget, or are you going to? And I'm not talking cutting police funding. I'm talking stupid programs that we have to review and use that money, because the money's there, and put it somewhere better, like in senior citizens, like in accessor rides, like in homeless shelters in the outer skirts. I don't believe in the green machine, whatever your green environment thing, you know. But my point to you is that, are you ready to tackle a budget? Are you prepared? I mean, you're well educated, very smart lady, Columbia University that we don't like. Tell her.
I'm going to tell her she's going to answer the question you asked her about how she's going to handle the budget. Let's
Are
go with that
you
first.
ready to handle 190 budget and get yourself up there and scream and holler?
I think I am very ready. And I tell you why. When I was elected Community Education Council in 2021, and I held the position of vice president of my council for 2 years. And when I was doing that, before right when we sworn in to be the education council, they passed a budget for mosaic curriculum. What it is, it sounds very nice, but what it is trying to stir racial divisions.
Wow.
So, for example, if I know you are a Jew, then I would say, don't you feel like you are not being recognized when you read a novel by Jane Austen because he's not a Jew, right? So it's trying to put things into your mind and your mouth when it was not an issue.
Yeah.
And then when I say to you, Tom, okay, when a nice guy like you, how do you feel when a Chinese woman sitting next to you? Don't you feel like being isolated? Don't you feel like you want to be with your people? So it's very nonsense approach to education. They accuse of people not able to learn if their teacher is white. They are not able to learn math. If you are a black kid, you cannot learn if your teacher is white. I never heard of something like that. I think you can only not able to learn if your teacher is a bad teacher and not good at teaching math. Right. You know, are you saying someone is tall, someone is short, someone is a little bit overweight, someone is too thin, someone is a woman, someone wear glasses? Are all these going to be the reason why you're not going to
is that the school
learn
system?
math?
No, I got that. But the irony of that is that the school system tells us that we all have to be blended in together, but yet what you make is a good point.
So the mosaic.
I want to set up a committee, even though we don't control the schools. I want to control the schools, and I want to get in there, and I want to show you that we can not only save money, but we can teach these children instead of 11%
racial,
but it's not only the racial, but the crime that's going on in there.
Yeah,
we have to stop that as well.
Correct.
It just doesn't work.
So they have allocated $1 million to develop this mosaic. BS mosaic, complete useless and racial bite. Basically, it's just a money washing machine that there's nothing going to come out. I chase after that program. I asked them to present to me, who is your project manager? What company you are going to work with? What is the initial plan? I want to see it. It's $1 million. So for 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, absolutely nothing was produced. They produced 6 books, which each book costs $1 or less. So they say that is their curriculum. Yeah, you're right. So eventually the entire program was cut. So I saved the entire Board of Education $1 million.
Wow.
I thank God.
We can save much more, but
they cut it. They cut it because they found too visible. That Helen keep asking very valid question. I'm not questioning that you are not using it incorrectly. You want to use $1 million? I have no problem. Show me How? Show me where. And I love to see it.
Which is what you've talked about over the past year, going line by line in the city
I wanna
budget,
go
in
line
those
by line
programs.
with city budget. I have a lot of government agencies that have duplicity, like the DOB, which I hate them and I fight them every day. You know, I bought a house upstate and I'm going to be using it for special needs kids. And just the red tape, even upstate, is 2 or 3 weeks. Just to get a permit, there was no line. I said to her, there's no line. She says, well, we're behind. I said, behind what? There's no line. There's no line. You have like 20 houses in the whole town. This is what New York City does. We get violations, we find out people, and we don't take care of it. Opinion on Governor Cuomo.
Okay, I think
Let it out, baby.
I am a Republican, but I rally for Cuomo at least for 2-3 weeks. I ask people, I don't ask Republicans because they're not qualified to vote in the primary. I ask every Democrat to vote, at least give one vote to Cuomo. You can vote whoever you like the best. Yourself, number one. No problem. Write in yourself, number one. But give one vote to Cuomo. Because I felt at that time he's the only person that could potentially defeat Mandani.
No.
I don't like Cuomo, but he's better than Mandani.
That's a bad answer. He's better than and you know you.
But we have no choice. So I did rally for Cuomo, but I think he made a concession speech. I did not watch the whole thing. I watched partial of it. I think.
Even with his concession speech, he can still win, no, Tom?
Well, he came out just before a little while ago, and it seems like, according to the New York Post, he's not running in November actively.
Wow.
So I don't
He's
know.
a chicken.
But
Well,
I think his concession speech when he congratulated Mandani and congratulate him for running a good race among the young people, etc., I felt that disqualify him for running in November. I thank God that he's not running.
Yeah.
But
He never
he
lost
won.
an election, so he's so bitter, and he doesn't want to blow the rest of his money. He wants to show face because he wanted to run for president. I still wanted him in the race only because I believe that if you have Mandani and Cuomo and Adams and Walden
and Suila.
and no, forget Suila. Those four dividing up the Democratic vote to like 20 or 30 each. Suila Curtis Suila with a 30% guaranteed vote, he might be able to win and be there.
No, I don't agree with that analysis, Hershey. The reason is this: when we think about people dividing Democratic vote, that is a conceptual ideal. It's not really the reality. You have like 8 or 9 people running in the primary. Did they divide the vote? No.
Yeah.
One person got 46%. That's the reality. So when you have Cuomo, everything, he's not going to get the vote. He will maybe divide a little bit, but that division is not going to be enough.
But you have a big candidate, Adams.
I know, but nonetheless, I think it will be a very dangerous thing that Mandani will edge out. So I think right now, the rest of the vote, it's the New York City versus Mandani who want to take over.
Well,
New
that's
York
going to
City.
be interesting to see.
We need
that.
to see it.
I
That
wanted
way.
to ask you one question locally. You know, you went and talked about Grand Street housing. You talked about the parking lot. There's a major issue similar to that that's in your district with the Elizabeth Street garden, which now the mayor had been for a long time wanting to just build over it, and it was a big thing.
So,
what was your thoughts on that?
So Elizabeth Garden, the land belonged to the city, doesn't belong to the private company or anybody. So we have a land ownership issue. However, that garden has been a treasure for many, many people.
A lot of celebrities were fighting over. They wanted to build 123
they
units
want
of
to
senior
build,
housing.
affordable housing. Now, we have many, many affordable housing that they can build. Number one. Number two, they can clean up the current affordable housing Rolodex.
Well, they made a deal with the 600. Instead of building that, with Marte made a deal to make 600 lots, so 680 units of senior housing within your district. So how do you feel that going on with this?
I think we want to keep the Elizabeth Garden.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, I want to debunk the Democrat building affordable housing myth.
Right.
Why? Because it has become what we can see happening in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Your very same district here.
Yep. How about here? Heshy's been very active on
Right.
this issue in our
Hershey,
district.
you probably know, when they say they're going to build affordable housing, it looks very good on the paper, and then you went ahead. But somewhere along the road, the affordable housing will become homeless shelters. Or
they give it
even
away
worse, will become illegal aliens.
Or they give it
housing.
away to, or they give sometimes these projects just to the very
Exactly.
wealthy in their project. Now, you know what I heard?
So it's a
Everybody-
it's a myth. It's a trick.
I know you guys are going to think conspiracy theory, but I was told that when the illegal immigrants come here, well, there's a reason, because the more people you have in a census year, that you get more money for the government, you get more money for another congressman. So we're trying to bring in and I said, but my question is, how do we count an illegal immigrant? He says, as long as they have a permanent address, we don't care if they're illegal or not, they get counted.
Well,
in
it's the same
census.
issue with going back to Cuomo for a minute on all the people with the bodies, with the nursing
Yeah.
station. That was the whole thing with this. They got more money for that. It's the same thing here with the migrants and what's turned into. And going back to your district, obviously we know what's happened by Mamadani's. We know what's happened outside of our district with 25th Avenue and 86th Street. And her district, Chinatown's had some issues. So
I want to ask you about Rikers, but first I want to ask your opinion on Trump.
Okay, so before I answer that, I want to say, in terms of counting in the census, that was not a conspiracy theory. Actually, that's exactly how we count census. They count the residents. They do not count only American citizen residents. They count just residents. So let's say you have 100 people, touring in your little district, and then let's make the 100 into 10,000. They are permanently touring in your district, and they happen to be the census year. Then these 1,000 people will be counted. And if you have 100,000 of these people in your district, then the entire district accounts to a lot more people than it normally have, because it's a census year. So that means you do get one more representative, because it's by
And
number.
in a place like New York, that means they can draw another Democratic district.
Exactly.
That's why that's
And
important.
more
Yes.
money going to their friends and not going.
Yes.
What's your opinion on Trump?
So I have to attribute my political involvement back to 2015. Back to 2015, 10 years ago. I was more like a naive and very dedicated, nonetheless, Christian pastor. So I preach, I pastor to people's need, I read the Bible, I do prayer meetings. I'm just very hardworking, very dedicated, love my God, do everything. However, in 2015, Trump gave an announcement for a Muslim ban. You probably remember that. Muslim ban announcement before he was even president.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
2015, on one of the days he did that, and that became a major news on the newspaper. And I remember I was only reading that in around like 9-10 o'clock after I put my son to bed. He was only 4 years old, right?
We're looking at him right now. He's like, oh, don't
now
embarrass
he's
me now.
14. Yeah, so I put him to bed, and then I start to read a little bit news. And then I read Trump had this Muslim ban.
Yeah.
And then, as a good researcher from Columbia University in the prestige PhD program, I did research. I want to find out what Trump said, whether that's true or not. Is it really that we are facing such kind of humanity extinction by the Islamic terrorism attacks around the world? And sure enough, pages and pages of attacks around the world that completely shocked me. And I remember I was so shocked, as if I experienced meeting God one more time. Yeah. So I think that experience helped me to get politically involved. And I think from that point on, I realized Trump has a very pioneering political instinct that a lot of people may not have.
I have a question. Real quick. No, I gotta get this in because she's Trump related. I understand you were out actually helping Trump in Philadelphia this past November. You want to talk about that experience?
Yes. Well, in 2024, I was the only person publicly gave President Trump my endorsement back in January. So, because I think he's going to be a good president for our country. I do not in any way think he is perfect in either his personal life, his speech, his policy. I don't think he's a perfect person. Maybe Jesus Christ will, we know Jesus Christ will be more perfect than he is. But I think he's good for America. And I also think he's good for Chinese American, good for Jewish American.
Yeah.
Apparently he is.
Yeah, he is.
So, but at that time, I think he is. So in 2024, I gave my wholehearted endorsement to Trump. And I did not proceed to the general election myself. So I used the effort to help Trump win the votes in Philadelphia.
What I hear is that if Zohan wins, he's going to go after the financial district, which is in your district.
Yes.
He's going to, and business owners are all nervous and freaking out, and the financial people. So we're dead.
Yes. Yes. Even if he were not Islamic jihadist, we would be dead with his socialist policies.
Yeah.
But I look at it as more than just economically dead. Economically dead is very horrifying, but I think the ideology that he's going to push in education, in our culture, it's going to do a lot more damage that is more than one generation.
I got one more question for you. So you've run before for this seat. You did the best anybody had did for the city council in Manhattan as a Republican in over 20 years.
Oh, thank you.
What have you learned from that race 2 years ago now to help you get over the finish line and actually win?
I feel I need to do more outreach. And that takes time, by the way.
Yeah.
When I say outreach, it's not just over the radio, which I appreciate very much in this radio program, but I actually need to meet people. So what I feel is when people meet with me and talk with me,
Right.
90%, if not more, decided they will vote for me. So it takes time for me to meet people.
Yeah.
So I think hopefully this year I will meet more people, and then
I get that
more
answer,
people.
but I want to ask you a question. You're a pretty lady, but
God bless.
I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but you are a mother. Let's
Yes.
face the fact.
Yes.
You have to take care of a family.
Yes.
What do you do otherwise besides this crazy, stupid job you want to get?
Right. I feel this this race or the races that I have run for the past 4 years, both it's putting some stress for me and my son. Normally,
We have a phone.
Hold on. Let's take a call.
okay, take a call, and then we go back.
Hello, you're on the phone with?
Just Enough Heshy Show. Tom Heshy and Helen Q running for the first.
Who's calling?
Hey, good evening, guys. It's your friend, Anthony Finkel.
You got to talk into the phone, Anthony. Can you have to talk into the phone? No.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Oh, it's my. It's
Anthony,
I don't know how to transfer you.
well, we'll figure it out here. So, Anthony, you're on the line with us. Good to see you, my brother. What would you like to say to myself, Heshy, or Helen Q running in the 1st District in downtown Manhattan?
Well, first, I'd like to say this has been a wonderful interview, and for Mrs. Q, good luck. I really hope that you can succeed. You sound highly educated and capable of doing a good job, and we really need some solid people to kind of stop and push back against the left and what they're doing to kind of run our city into the ground. But I also had to comment. I wanted to comment on a few things, but I definitely had to comment on something from last week. Heshy, Uncle Heshy, you said that nobody offered to pay at dinner. I want the world to hear this on the phone, that Heshy was a true gentleman. and treated us all out for dinner at Essence Deli.
On Avenue J, Coney
It
Island
was
Avenue.
like having dinner with a local celebrity. Everybody kept coming over to shake his hand, take pictures with him. But honestly, Uncle Heshy, it was great having dinner with you. Love the show.
Now
Really great
I
to have
feel
dinner with
left
you.
out.
You gotta come to Essence with us. Listen, you gotta come to Essence. The
That's right.
the best sandwiches.
You got, I'm going to take you out to a good. No, but you ate this stupid corned beef. I want
no,
to-
roast beef.
roast
Don't do
beef.
that.
Yeah.
Don't
Please,
do that.
with
Don't.
mashed
There you
potatoes.
go. Yes, there you go.
Anthony, you are a wonderful man. Thank you for calling.
He's also
into
our
the show.
sponsor, DPH Property Maintenance, 347-228-2625. So if you need some help in the neighborhood, hire Anthony and his group. He'll help you out.
Thank
Wonderful.
you, Anthony.
Thank you. We'll see you, my brother, next week. And Anthony's band, Fester, by the way, just played here at Lucky 13 Saloon, downtown Brooklyn.
You,
So
my thing too is Helen. So you have a hell of a schedule. Forget the kid alone. I know what it is just to take care of a kid.
He is here right now.
I know
to
he's
let you
right there.
He
He's
is
not
here.
behaving himself. We're
No,
gonna have
he's
to-
behaving just fine.
Yeah.
He's behaving just as well as you
in my
are
day, we
tonight.
took the belt and we bit them, but that was a joke. We don't do that.
We don't want corporal punishment right,
Right.
now.
That was a joke. He doesn't even care what
No,
I
he's
say.
laughing.
Yeah.
He's laughing.
How are you going to find the time? And when you get elected, you're going to need to put in not 6 hours, even though I hear half of these councilmen do nothing. Are you going to take, I mean, I put in 18-hour days, and it's so complicated to run an election and run a business and help people and do our outreach programs and our community service.
Yes, I am a single mom. So before we
Even harder than anybody.
Yeah, before I ran the race, usually I would take my son for after-school programs like drawing, music, sports, all that. But because I run the race, we hardly do any after-school programs unless something that he could do himself. And he has become more independent. So I would say, yes, it does hurt our schedule a little bit that we did not do as much after-school programs as what we did before.
We have another caller here. You want to pick up the phone?
We don't even let her finish.
Sure.
Well, you got to pick it up. Caller, you're on the line with Heshy, Tom, and Helen Q running in the 1st District in downtown Manhattan. Tell us who you are and what would you like to tell us tonight?
This is George Sarantopoulos. I just wanted to.
Oh, I thought, is this Dick Graham Barsimian or is it George Sarantopoulos? I couldn't tell with the voice.
This is definitely George Sarantopoulos.
Okay,
How
I'll
are
make
you
sure.
guys doing?
How you doing, George?
But 1 minute, George. By the way, everybody, George Sarantopoulos won the 47th district.
Whoa.
Yes, he won. Not only did he win, he crushed that. What's his name again? Barbarian.
I don't even know his
Who
name
cares?
anymore.
George
Doesn't make a
won.
difference.
He crushed him, and not only, I mean, everybody thought George wasn't gonna. I knew it. I was there for George.
Heshy was his biggest supporter.
biggest supporter. But not only did I know George was going to win it, but George got rid of the most worst person and our what's his name? The chairman. Thank God you're going to stop him from being German. And congratulations,
Let's hear
George.
what he's got to say. You're on the line, caller. What would you like to tell us here tonight?
No, listen. I listen. We as Republicans need to unite now because we are now facing the biggest existential threat to the city. If that guy Mendami Zoran there, he sounds like a James Bond villain. If that guy wins and becomes the mayor of the city of New York, God help us all.
Well, George,
That's a good point. That's a good
George,
point.
you are a smart man. I know you're preparing for the next part of this race to win on November the 4th, and I know your strategy is very good. Even though me and Tom don't like your friend Dimitri, we hate him so much. And he did lose. Didn't Dimitri lose district leader?
United Republicans, we got to go all get along.
No, Dimitri's not a Republican. He's a Democrat.
Well, George is running in the 47th Council District in the nearby neighborhoods of Bay Ridge, Bath Beach, Dyker Heights, parts of it, Coney Island, Seagate, and Warbest.
Tell him his website.
Wow.
He's George for Change on Facebook and Instagram. Check him out there. You can find out more information on his campaign.
And
So-
congratulations, George.
I'm going to let you guys go. I love
And I want to give a shout out to my good friend and George's wife, Haiti.
Yes.
Heidi.
Yes. You know Heidi.
Heidi.
By the way, we forgot to do our shout outs.
Sergeant Peter, Mira
Sergeant
Nava.
Peter, we love you. And my granddaughter, Mira Nava.
The best part of the show,
her.
Mira Nava.
Layla Tamar, my other granddaughter. Another one, a Hoover. She's a little 1-year-old that knows how to fly. And my 2 grandsons, Benjamin Hillel and I forgot.
And you might forget, I want to say hello to some of the Sports
Well,
Wire
let me
Radio
finish
gang
some of
that's
the
in here.
grandchildren. I got a whole
Justin Parsley, who's in the chat, the hall monitor of
yeah?
Sports Wire
Yeah.
Radio, was here checking us out. So thank you to
And
everybody. for
Yeshua
tuning in.
and my newest granddaughter, not even a month old.
yes, congratulations.
Yael, Miriam, and I want you to know I went to the dentist.
And we're on the radio. See you next week. Thank you.
we're
This is
gone
Helen.
already?
Yep,
Then
it's
you're not
55.
finished.
Yep, thank you.
Goodbye,
Helen. We'll see you
everybody.
next
Thank
week.
you for listening
Time
into the
flies.
show. Yes, it does. I went to the dentist, as I was telling you, and
So,
one of the girls...
Concluded the
No, we're here we're on YouTube in like 5 more minutes, but our radio portion.
The
just
radio
ended.
portion of the show, our listeners just get bored.
They go. See ya. Sayonara.
But I was at the dentist, and one of the girls behind the counter was Yael, and the other one was Miriam. So I told them, I said, I hate Yael Miriam. And one of the girls says, why? Because I'm black? I said, oh, God, I never win with you women. Never. No matter what I come up with. And I wanted my granddaughter to be named after my mother, Rivka. That's the way we do it. And my children purposely named them after somebody.
And you left out one more shout out tonight because you were going to give a big shout out to Sawyer Radin for finishing in last place.
I know George
in
is not
last
gonna,
night's
George is not
district
gonna like
leader
this.
race.
Sawyer Radin hurt us, screwed us, and she ran for district leader, and we purposely ran for district leader against her. Not only did she not come in first, second,
Third or fourth.
place, and my own daughter-in-law that had no knowledge that she was even on the ballot. I mean, she did have knowledge.
She had knowledge.
She crushed Sawyer. Please stop shutting off my
The
mic, or you're
producers-
not going to get
the
paid. I
producers
promise
telling
you.
us that we're
I
close
promise.
to ending the show, but obviously a
Are we
huge
still-
shout out to Sawyer Radin, by
Are
the
we
way.
still in the program?
We are still on YouTube, so let me ask you this: so
We're on
what are your
YouTube, Facebook,
Yes, but
and Instagram.
before we go,
How
what-
long? How much longer for
we
you?
have like within the 5 minutes.
Okay.
What are the top?
Don't worry, we know you have to
I got
go
that.
with the
We're
kids.
good.
No. I'd
What
be
are the
happy
top?
to
So your district right now in the first council district, which includes the neighborhoods of the financial district, Lolita, Chinatown, Battery Park. What are the top 3 issues right now facing your constituents?
Lower Manhattan. Yes, everything
Before you
south
go
of
to an
Houston.
issue, I have a very problem. You complain about Rikers not closing it down. How are you going to fix it?
Rikers is not going to be closed. I think Adam said that. So, good thing.
Well, we have Mamadani. If he wins, we have no idea what he'll do with Rikers. He may
Right.
literally close it and then put all the criminals on the street
Right.
to chew us all out of New York City.
top 3 issues.
Top
I
three
think-
issues, very important.
I think safety is the top issue. And I hope we vote according to what we really care about. And I hope everybody who care about safety, care about their small business, come out to vote. Apparently, the turnout is not that great. Only 10% people actually come out to vote in the primary for the Democrats. So I hope the rest of the 90% Democrat will come out to vote. And of course, all the Republicans will come out to vote. When I got 7,000 votes in 2022, which is a high number.
Yep.
However, among them, only 2,000 votes came from Republicans. The rest of the 5,000 votes came from Democrats and independents. So I have 8,000 Republicans in my district. The rest of the 6,000 decided not to come out and did not vote for me and did not vote for Lee Zeldin. And if they would have, maybe Lee Zeldin would be our mayor.
Are you gonna
our governor.
Are you going to get them to come out?
I hope. So coming to your show is one of the ways that I hope will outreach to them. And I hope we
I know
will.
you did a lot of NYCHA reach out also. You run some NYCHA buildings. I know in your last race you spent a lot of time campaigning there. It's probably going to be another one of
Yes,
the
and
strategies.
then we
Yeah,
also
10,000
need the Jews
Yeah.
to come out to vote. I always tell people, I say, unfortunately, guess who is committing suicide in this race? The Jews. They are voting for Mandani. Brad Lander.
Wow.
He was leading. So he is the leader of these insane votes.
Oh, he's the worst.
By the Jewish community, by the Jews, New Yorker, by the New York Jews, and voting against New York Jews. I cannot think of anything that's more ridiculous. So I think we need all the Jews to come out and
Where
vote.
can we find you one more time? Where can we find you on social media?
Yes, on
X, right?
X.
Helen for Q?
Helen, Helen, 4, number 4, NY.
Okay.
Yes.
Helen for NY on X. She's also on Instagram. You can check her out personally on
And
Facebook.
HelenForNYC.com.
Okay. Helen
Well,
for NYC.
Hopefully that
I
will
want to
be
say
on
goodbye to
live.
We're going to play the music in a moment. He never plays the music. I hope he plays it today.
Well, he's an elected official. You better be
He better-
careful
better be
now.
very careful.
He's a district leader now. He's
But
an honorable.
I want you to know
Yes.
something, that I believe in this city. I believe that if we get into office, I'm going to fight for our city. I'm not going to let Mamadani. And I hated Cuomo so much. If I was a Democrat, I wouldn't have voted for either one. Out of just, I know that it's wrong, it's stupid, but they're both evil. And I know you're going to say pick the better of the two evils. But I just can't. They're both vicious, evil people. And Mamadani, who is 33 years old, has no experience, was a 3-year rapper, has no idea even how to run a business, and we're going to make him mayor of a $119 billion budget. God help us all.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the
Vote
show.
Helen.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you,
Helen
Hershey.
Q.
Thank you,
Hershey
Tom.
Tischler.
Thank you, and thank
And
you,
thank
your
you
son.
to-
What is your son's name?
David.
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 Thank you
King
for coming
David.
and causing a lot of
A
trouble.
lot of Davids in our district, so he'll fit in nicely.
Bless you, bless God, bless America, bless our great president, President Trump. Play that
Yes.
music.
And we'll see.
Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight.